Time to tell you where in Germany we lived before moving to Texas. Hi, grüß Gott! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Willkommen auf meinem YouTube-Kanal. I am Sonja, a German living in Texas, and in today's video I'm answering one of your questions. One of my viewers, Alina, asked me where in Germany we lived before moving to Texas. And that is a great question, and that's what this video is all about. I lived in a German town called Vilseck with my American husband. Let me show you the so-called Ortsschild. That is the Ortsschild in Germany. That is a yellow sign that basically tells you about the place. You will see the so-called Ortsschild when you drive into a city or a village or a small town. And that is the place where I lived with my American husband. The German town Vilseck in Germany. That's located in the so-called Oberpfalz. People in the Oberpfalz have a very funny dialect. And I lived in this German town, Vilseck, with my American husband for 1.5 years. I was born and raised in Germany, so before I met my American husband, I lived closer to the Nuremberg area. So I was born and raised in a small village. And I mentioned this in one of my last videos, the fact that I used to work in Nuremberg, Germany. So I always had to commute from my village to Nuremberg, Germany, because I had a full-time job there. And when I met my American husband, we lived in Vilseck, Germany. And the German town, so Vilseck, Germany, is known because there is a large US military community. So I also wanted to show you here the card. So of course I kept the card that was, our old home. And here you can see the place again, Vilseck. And this place, the German town, is mostly known because there is a large US military community. The military base in Vilseck, Germany is called Rose Barracks. So a lot of Americans know Vilseck and also, of course, the military base Rose Barracks. And some people may also know Grafenwöhr. Grafenwöhr in Germany is connected to Vilseck. So there is a military road that connects the two military bases. So in Vilseck there is one military base, that's the Rose Barracks, and then there is a military road that connects Grafenwöhr and Vilseck. And the military base in Grafenwöhr is called Tower Barracks. So a lot of Americans also know Tower Barracks because they were stationed there in the past, or maybe as I am recording this, maybe I do have some Americans who are stationed in Germany watching this. Please let me know in the comments if you know these two places. So Grafenwöhr and Vilseck, these are the German towns that are known because there's a large US military community. And my husband worked there and we lived off post, and we lived there for 1.5 years. And I just really have wonderful memories. I really feel attached to this place, even after now spending almost a year here in the United States. So it's kind of less than a year, but I still feel very attached to this place. I have so many great memories. My personal favorite pastime activity in Vilseck, Germany was, of course, going to the forest. So the forest was just a stone's throw away. So we literally lived right next to the forest, and I always went for a run. And one of the coolest things that has ever happened to me back in Vilseck, Germany. So I found one of those really cool mushrooms. I don't know the English word for it. In German we call it Fliegenpilz. So let me show you here the Fliegenpilz. It was so funny because I literally said to my mom, that was in October 2024 when I was still living in Germany. I said to my mom, I really want to find one of those mushrooms, you know, the mushroom that is supposed to bring you good luck or give you good luck. And I said to my mom, I really want to find one of those before I leave Germany, because I knew that we were gonna move to Texas and I didn't know if I was ever gonna find one of those mushrooms. So I really did find one of those really cool mushrooms back in Germany in 2024 in Vilseck, Germany. And this German town is fairly small, but it has everything that you need. So there are grocery stores there, there's the Edeka, Netto, Nahkauf, and just before we had to leave Germany, they were building another German supermarket, the Lidl. And in the Rose Barracks in the military base, I often drove to the Rose Barracks military base when I had a doctor's appointment. So there's a health clinic, there's a library, a gym, because a lot of people in the military, you know, they have to work out. So there's a gym, a library, a small bowling center, and a school. So the American school where the military children, they can go to the school. And yeah, of course, it's not open to the public. So if you drive to the gate of the military base, you have to show them the military ID. And since I am a military wife, I have one military ID. But if you have a friend, for instance, they can sign you in. But I just know that they always checked my car. I had a car, so here in Texas I don't have a car, but back in Germany I still had my car, and it's a Daihatsu, and nobody knows Daihatsu. It's really like such a small car, basically made out of plastic, but I had a Daihatsu, and they always just checked my car when I drove to the gate. I don't know why, but for some reason they always wanted to check my car. And you know, when the security personnel, they want to check your car, and you have to open all the doors and you open the hood, and yeah, they just want to make sure, you know, that there's nothing dangerous in the car or something. So that's why, I don't know, they always just check my car. Of course they didn't find anything. What else could they find apart from like old coffee cups or just baby stuff? I always have baby wipes in the car and stuff like that. But yeah, they never found anything. Of course. But yeah, I really miss the time, you know, when I could go to the military base, Rose Barracks, or to the forest, because if you have seen some of my other videos, you may know that I literally went from, you know, green Vilseck in Germany all the way here to the desert, basically close to the Mexican border here in Texas. And of course, it was a big shock for me, just, you know, the total opposite from really this small German town Vilseck and then to this big bustling city here, El Paso, Texas. Yeah. I personally love the sunshine, but I also, you know, miss certain things. Definitely my family and the forest, going to the forest. And I just wanted to share, you know, this with you. If you have any questions, then please leave a comment. A lot of people, or a lot of Americans, just know this place. And my husband stayed in Germany for almost 6 years, but we didn't know each other for all these years. But yeah, when I met him, then we moved together and we lived in Vilseck, Germany for 1.5 years. Yeah, really good old times. We made some great memories there. And yeah, it's crazy. Now looking back, just a year ago, you know, I was still living in Germany and I experienced, of course, the German weather. You know, my memories of Vilseck, Germany are, you know, usually it's very foggy. It can be foggy there, of course. It can get really cold, it can snow there. So we have the 4 seasons there, and here, honestly, it doesn't really feel like we have 4 seasons because it's still warm and sunny. It can get a little cold at night, but generally speaking, it feels like we don't really have the 4 seasons here. Yeah, so really good memories here. This German town. And of course, the US military is still in Germany. Just to give you a few more examples, so there's the military base in Grafenwöhr, in Vilseck, then Ansbach, Hohenfels, and then of course Stuttgart, there's also a military base, and in Wiesbaden there's also a military base. I may create another video about military bases in Germany that I have personally been to. If that's something you're interested in, then please let me know in the comments. And that is it for today. For the last few minutes, I just wanted to add some more footage of Vilseck in Germany, the German town that we lived in for 1.5 years. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, please consider supporting my channel by buying me a coffee. You can buy me a coffee on my Buy Me a Coffee account, and of course you can also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you will have a wonderful day. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und dann sehen wir uns im nächsten Video wieder. Tschüss, ciao.